We are talking about the nervous system. The nervous system is responsible for the control of the body and communication amongst its parts. Two basic parts that make up the nervous system are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is composed of the brain and spinal cord, controls most functions of body and mind. It interprets information from our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, as well as internal organs. The spinal cord is like a highway for communication between the body and the brain.
The peripheral nervous system is composed of cranial and spinal nerves. Nerves extend out from the spinal cord to the rest of the body.
The peripheral nervous system consists of nerve cells located outside the brain and spinal cord. Nerve cells of the peripheral nervous system that carry nerve signals toward the brain and spinal cord are called sensory neurons. Nerve cells that carry the signal away from the brain and spinal cord are known as motor neurons. These two divisions compose the entire neuronal network within the human body, but each can be further subdivided into various regions. The peripheral nervous system, unlike the central nervous system, has nerve cells that come in contact with the environment. It also includes the 12 cranial nerves that descend directly from the brain. The peripheral nervous system is composed of two major subdivisions, somatic and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is involuntary and is responsible for maintaining proper function of the internal organs. The autonomic system can be further divided into parasympathetic and sympathetic subdivisions. Sympathetic nerves are primarily responsible for the fight or flight response, while the parasympathetic nervous system acts as an antagonist that returns the body to its normal resting state. The cell bodies of peripheral nerves are often found in clusters known as ganglia. A closer look into these two primary divisions reveals not only colossal complexity, but also intelligent design.
The brain is divided into three parts, which are the brainstem, cerebellum, and the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it is divided into two hemispheres. These hemispheres are called the right and left hemispheres. The cerebrum contains four lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. The brainstem includes the midbrain, pons, and medulla. The cerebrum performs higher functions like interpreting touch, vision, and hearing, as well as speech, reasoning, emotions, learning, and fine control of movement. Frontal lobe carries out higher mental processes such as thinking, decision-making, and planning. Parietal lobe processes sensory information that had to do with taste, temperature, and touch. Temporal lobe is responsible for processing auditory information from the ears. Occipital lobe is responsible for processing visual information from the eyes. The cerebellum's function is to coordinate muscle movements, maintain posture, and balance. The brainstem's function is to perform automatic functions such as breathing, heart rate, body temperature, wake and sleep cycles, digestion, sneezing, coughing, vomiting, and swallowing. The main function of the thalamus is to relay motor and sensory signals to the cerebral cortex. The pons serves as a message station between several areas of the brain. It helps relay messages from the cortex and the cerebellum.
Neuron is the structural unit of the nervous system. The dendrites conducts nerve impulses toward the cell body. The cell body contains the nucleus. The axon conducts impulses away from the cell body down the axon terminal. Schwann cells form the myelin sheath. The myelin sheath covers the axon, resulting in faster nerve impulses down the axon terminal. It basically acts as an insulator which speeds up nerve transmission. Nodes of Ranvier are bare spots where the myelin is not present. They allow nerve impulses to jump to further increase the speed of transmission. Synapse, or the synaptic cleft, is the junction between the axon of one neuron to the dendrite of the other. When a neuron is stimulated enough, it sends an electrical impulse down its axon. A resting neuron is more positive on the outside and negative on the inside. The membrane separates the two so we can use the energy that their traction creates. Stimulus triggers the action potential. The sodium channels open, increasing charge inside of the cell. The charge has to be at negative 55 millivolts for true action to occur. The sodium gates open so all of the positive sodium ions come in quickly, which makes the neuron depolarize. The neuron's membrane goes up to positive 40 millivolts.
The positive charge moves down the axon to the axon terminal where the neurotransmitters are released. The process of repolarization begins. The potassium channels open to let the potassium out of the cell in order to rebalance the charges. Hyperpolarization begins. The voltage drops to negative 75 millivolts. Then all the gates close and the sodium-potassium pumps take over and bring the neuron back to resting potential.